Well, hello, young artists. This is a one-point perspective drawing part 2. I'm going to show you today how to get some houses in to your landscape that uses one-point perspective. We're using line and space as our elements of art. We are drawing in one-point perspective. This means your sketch or your drawing needs to have a horizon line and it must have a vanishing point. We're trying to get away from maybe drawing like this, where this house is only one side. It's really kind of too big for the mountain that it's on. And we want things to look more realistic in a space, the way that Vincent van Gogh did this nighttime restaurant scene here with all the lines converging or coming together to one point. I've got the drawing that we did last time. We did a road. We have the left side and the right side and the dotted line. And then we have a row of trees. The trees are supposed to look like they're all about the same size. So we used a line at the bottom and a line at the top that goes to this vanishing point to space out the trees. We also used diminishing, that means it gets smaller, objects. So the space between the trees gets smaller, and the space between the dotted line down the road or the highway, they get smaller, and these lines and these trees get closer together as they go back toward the vanishing point. I'm going to start a new drawing today. You can start a new drawing too. Make sure that you have some kind of horizon line. I went ahead and darkened mine with a marker. You want to be using a pencil and you want to draw very lightly until you complete your drawing, and then you can erase the marks that we will draw that you won't need at the end. I have already marked in a road. I did it a little bit differently than I did this one. It comes straight down. So that makes this land look like it's flat. I have penciled in some houses so I can draw it more quickly. And then I'm going to use my ruler. Remember, you will need a ruler, or just, this is a scrap piece of paper that I folded up so I can have a straight edge to use. So I have used my ruler to draw in a house, and I simply made, I'll show you like that. I have made a square, and then I kind of guess where is the center along this top horizontal line, and I made a little dot. And then I used my ruler to help me make a straight line, and I've connected the corner of the house to the roof. I've got this little arrow here that points to my vanishing point. It's right there. You need to have a horizon line and vanishing point before you start drawing your house. Now, I'm going to use my ruler or my straight edge, and I'm going to make 3 diagonal lines that slant. And my lines are going to touch this vanishing point. I'm going to only draw the right side of this little building. So we won't see the left side. All of our lines are going to go to this vanishing point. It's on the right, so my lines will go from here to the vanishing point. So I'm going to start at this corner. That's going to be my first line. And I am going to pencil it in because I'm going to have to erase part of it. So I'm going to make it dark so you guys can see it. I'm going to erase that anyway, no worries. I'm going to go up to this corner. So this is 1, 2. I'm going right here to this corner. I'm going to pivot that ruler to the top corner of that square that I made for the house, and I'm going to pencil in a line. And then my third point, 1, 2, 3. There's my third point. It's going to be the top of that roof, and I'm going to put my ruler there, and I'm going to put the other end of my ruler on that vanishing point. It has to be right on it, not above it, not below it, and I'm going to pencil that in. I don't want to use my marker right now because I'm going to erase some of this. I need to decide how deep this building is going to be. Is it going to be a long building or kind of a square building? I'm going to make it kind of square. So I need my ruler now to go vertical, straight up and down like this line, like the edge of my paper. So I'm gonna slide my ruler back. It's really easy to let it get kind of diagonal. So try to make sure it's straight up and down. And then I'm gonna make a line. It keeps moving a little bit. I'm gonna make a line right here. So I went from the first line to the second line, stop. First line to second line. Don't go straight, don't go through it. Stop right here at this middle line. Now, I want to make a parallel line. So I'm gonna hold my markers parallel. If I turn one at an angle, then the other one has to go at the same angle. I'm going to use this diagonal line to show the back of the roof. So I get my ruler going at the same angle, not like this, but the same angle, and then I slide it up to where the last line that I made stops, right here. And I want to connect that right there. I don't need these lines anymore. I needed them at first because I needed to see that I was going back to the vanishing point. I'm going to add the marker on top of this so you can see it better. So this line goes here. If I continued on, it would go to the vanishing point. This is line 1. Line 2 goes here, continues on to the vanishing point. And line 3 goes from the top of the roof. I'm gonna stop right there. Now I'm gonna finish the back corner of the building, and I'm gonna finish the back of the roof. These pencil lines, I would erase. I don't need them anymore. I'm always drawing things on the left side of the paper because I am left-handed. I'm going to draw another one on the right, just so you can see how to do it. And when I get to here, I'm gonna go in front of the mountain a little bit. I already drew this high, so it goes up over part of the landscape back here. And that's okay. Just like this tree and this tree, really all these trees go above the horizon line, that's okay. Of course, we see things in front of it. I've penciled this in so I can go faster with my drawing here. I'm gonna go over my pencil marks, and I'm just making a very simple house or structure. I have a little garden shed that's really just about this shape. It's 8 feet tall and 8 feet wide, so it really does look like a square. And I've tried to make this kind of like a square. And so I guessed where was the center, and I made a dot. That's gonna be the peak or the very top of the roof. And we're making a very simple kind of roof. Really, it's almost like that, very simple. And then I'm going to make the left side of this little building, or this little house, to show you how to do both ways. All of these diagonal lines are going to go to the same vanishing point. It's called 1 point perspective because of that vanishing point. It only has 1 point on your paper, and there it is right there. So I'm going to line this up, and I don't want to go all the way to the vanishing point. I want to stop. I'm going to stop right about here. I'm going to make this building look a little longer than it is wide. Now, I'm going to be thinking about right now, where would this line stop? It would stop right about here. I want this dot to be over this line. I think it needs to go a little bit more like that. And I'm going to put my ruler on my vanishing point. This is point 1, this is point 2. I'm going to make this line right there. Point 1, point 2, point 3. I'm going to make my third diagonal line from the top of the roof to the vanishing point. And I've got to be careful here. Now you're using a pencil, so if you make your line too long, it's okay, you can erase it. But I've got to think about, because I'm using marker, where would this line end? I'm going to make it too short because then I could always make it longer. And I want to finish it now. So I've got my 1, 2, 3 diagonal lines. It looks like a bunch of triangles going to this little point. So I want my next line to be vertical, like this line. So I'm gonna slide this back. I don't wanna let my ruler get crooked. I want to slide it over. And it looks like I made this top line, the middle line, the second line, too long. So I'm gonna go with that. I will show you how to fix it. I made a little mistake. So I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna go down to that pencil line and see that little open space? I'm just gonna finish that right there, like that. Now, the last thing is I wanna finish the roof, but my angle, instead of this way, it's gonna be this way because it's on the right side. And so I want to find this angle and I want to kind of match it. Like that doesn't match it. That doesn't match it. This does. I want to slide this ruler, try to keep it at the same angle. And I want to go all the way to the back corner of the house. And I want to go up like that. And look, I did not make that line long enough, so I'm going to finish it right there. And then I'm done. I can erase the lines that I don't need. This eraser is not very good. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to erase these lines. And right through the house, I had some of that horizon line back there. And I can erase these lines completely. I don't need them now. I'm going to pencil in where the landscape is kind of flat right here. Actually, I'll use my marker now. I can finish that right there. So it looks like this land is flat, but then I have some mountains back here. I can kind of pencil that in or add the marker right there. And I want to give you one challenge. I'm going to show you how to add a window on the side. I know you know how to make a window on the front. I want to show you how to do it on the side. I'm going to use these diagonal lines again, pick up my ruler, I go back to my vanishing point. I want this line to be the top of my window. I want to pivot my ruler down, keep that one end on that vanishing point, and come down to here. So that's the top and bottom of the window. Of course, the sides, I want them to be vertical, just like any window. So I want to slide this over. I made the top line a little bit over to the right, so I'll fix that when I get to the bottom. And then I made the bottom a little bit too big, or too wide. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go up this way. And then I'm just going to use my ruler to help me finish those lines. You are using a pencil, so if you make a mistake, just redraw. And then this line goes to the vanishing point. I need to close that space. And then I've got a window that looks like it makes perfect sense. This is kind of hard to do, but you've got time to work on it. I would spend 20 or 30 minutes on a drawing like this. There's my vanishing point. Give it a try and see how it looks. I'll see you next time, young artists.